classic chill Aidin Robbins vlog. I'm going for a little hike, and I'm going to talk to you a bit about this camera, the Canon EOS R. I've been using it for about a year at this point, I believe, and I really like it, and I want to talk to you about why I like it, and more importantly, I want to talk to you a bit about something broader that doesn't have as much to do with this particular camera, and I think you'll take a little bit more away from in this video. So, let's head out, drive to this trailhead, and get started. Get this snow off the windshield from the past couple days. Classic. And we're off. One important stop to make on the way, as usual. I'll be right back. And we're back. That's the good stuff. I swear, mountain coffee is like a tier above the rest of the coffee in the world. That being said, let's trek on and get to this spot. Hopefully this coffee lasts me the whole drive. It's gone already. But hey, we made it. That was fast. So as you can see, the road to actually get to the trail we're doing today is very much closed, which is kind of funny given that if you followed me on Instagram over the past couple months, you'll know that I've had pretty dismal luck in regards to road closures stopping me from doing trails and hikes, but today it's actually a good thing because the trail we're doing today is super crowded for most of the year, but now since it snowed a few days ago, the road is still closed. I can just walk a couple extra miles and get to it, and hopefully it'll be a lot less crowded than usual. Don't think we're gonna have any problem with this today, but I'll see if I can take it up to 45 just for funsies. So one of the best things about the EOS R, this isn't it, but it'll be pretty good stand-in for us today, is that it's mirrorless and it's full frame. Mirrorless is great because it means it has an electronic viewfinder, and that's great for two reasons. One, it's great for being able to see what I'm filming when I'm filming in bright sunlight like I am today and can't really see the external LCD screen, but it's also great for me because I shoot handheld almost 100% of the time, and whenever I can, I'm putting my eye up to that electronic viewfinder and adding that third point of contact so that I can get a more steady shot. Full frame is also a great camera to have because it means that you have that shallower depth of field, so better low light, and for me, most importantly, that blurry background in more of your shots. And that's just a look that I really like to be able to go for, to have that blurred out background and isolate the subject. So those are two great things for me, but you might not really need that electronic viewfinder. If you're shooting on a gimbal all the time, you won't even be able to use it, and you might not necessarily care about having that blurry background. That might not be a look that you like. In fact, a lot of people don't like to have a super blurry background. A lot of cinema cameras have that smaller sensor, so you don't have that. So while these features are great for me and my workflow and my process and the look that I like to go for in my videos, it doesn't mean that I'm going to recommend it to you for that reason, because you might not be using your camera in the same way that I am. this point. Still walking up the road to get to the trail, and a state trooper just passed me and rolled down his window to let me know that he's going back to reopen the gate that I went under to get here. Barnacles. So that's obviously not the best timing, given that I'm now gonna have to worry about cars being here. Was hoping to drone this cool part of the road up here. Probably not gonna be an option anymore, but we'll see what we can do. Got that banging Instagram story. If you want to see it, follow me at Aidin Robbins. So I think I'm technically not supposed to be on this part of the road, but I kind of gave myself a pass since the road was closed when I got here. And come on, look at this view. It's beautiful. And even though the road opened, there's still not that many cars. So being able to walk across this thing all alone, very tranquil and cool. Such a good view. And I figured this great view is a great opportunity to talk to you about one of my other favorite features of the EOS R, which is color science. It's a camera buzzword I'm sure you've heard a million times before, but I do want to talk about it briefly. Canon cameras are known for their color science. They're known for having accurate and rich colors that are great for grading and editing, and the EOS R is no exception. And it also includes C-Log, Canon Log, which allows me to shoot super flat, so I have all that detail in the highlights and shadows to bring back and edit how I please and have that flexibility. Because of how much I grade my shots and how much I want the colors to be accurate and rich, that's a huge part of my workflow, so that's something important that I'm not necessarily going to get with another camera brand. But it might not be as important to you, just like with any other feature. Maybe you're starting to pick up on my point here. All right, let's move on. So I just finished walking across this big part of the road, and I saw this little path off to the side of the road that seems to go under this part of the road. So I seem to follow it, see where this little path goes. So this is pretty nice. There's a cute little stream here, and we're very much under the road. That's pretty sick, but it looks like the path ends right about here. So I'm gonna head on back up and keep going to our main event. So now we're just waiting a few more minutes for the sunset to pop off so I can hopefully get the drone up and get some photos and videos of that. But until then, let's talk a bit about form factor, which is probably my favorite thing about the EOS R. It's small and easy to use. Most of my shoots are like this one. I'm hiking or moving around a lot while I'm filming, so it's just not convenient to have a huge bulky setup that takes a lot of time to maneuver. Anything that doesn't fit in my camera bag is not going to be included as a part of my setup, so I'm oftentimes possibly sacrificing some options and specs in the name of keeping the setup slim and easy to use when I'm out shooting. But that's my workflow, not yours. If you're shooting a short film where you have a lot of time to set up your set, you're shooting in a controlled environment, you're shooting indoors, that doesn't apply to you. You don't need a small setup that's easy to use. You can have a larger, more difficult, time-extensive to use camera to set up and shoot with, and it's fine because you have those time and resources. Just another example of how different creators and different workflows call for different tools. Now, the EOS R is by no means a perfect camera. I would never try and tell you that it is. There are plenty of setbacks and downsides to using it as opposed to other cameras. For example, the crop in 4K, the fact that it doesn't shoot 120 frames per second, and the fact that it has an adapter to adapt your lenses to the lens mount for no reason. Canon just didn't have to do that, but they did. It's really inconvenient. But when I think about how I prefer to shoot as an individual, I don't really shoot in 120 frames a second because it's too slow for my taste, and I don't really shoot in 4K because it's just a larger file size that bogs Premiere down more when I'm editing and takes up more space. For me, the benefits and the crisper detail in your shots are not enough to outweigh the cons and the inconvenience to my workflow. So those things don't really matter to me, but they could be a deal breaker for you, and that's fine. And if that's the case, you might be better suited with a Panasonic or Sony camera that has those stronger specs to make up for what you need. And that brings me to my main point in this video, which is that no one on the internet can tell you what camera you should be using. No one can tell you which camera is objectively best or which one's objectively worse or better than another, because no camera is objectively worse or better than another. It always depends on your workflow and what you're shooting. And I'm not approaching this as one of those people who rants to you about why it doesn't matter what camera you're using, because frankly, it does. Different tools do different things, and different tools are suited to different people, but that's all the reason that we shouldn't be bickering and arguing on the internet about which camera's best. I think my EOS R video that I made about a year ago when I switched is probably my most disliked video ever. I got so much negative feedback about a camera that works for me. So when you're buying a camera, really try and take a step back and think about your own individual needs. Think about the environment you're going to be using it in, the look you're going for, what settings are deal breakers for you, and what you really need to have included in a camera. That's what I did when I bought this one, and I think I made the right decision, because after a year of using it, if I take a step back and think about having used it, I like the workflow when I'm using it. It's easy and convenient for me to shoot with, and I like the results I get from it. The footage looks nice, and that's really all there is to it. No more analysis needed. So next time you're buying a camera, or any piece of gear for that matter, it could be a lens or a tripod, take a step back. Don't watch YouTube videos about which one's best and which one's worst. Take a step back and think about what's right for you as an individual creator. All right, now that I'm done ranting, I'm gonna get some sunset shots for you to enjoy. So I'm hiking out now, got the Lume Cube here to help guide my way, and I got some bad news, guys. I was flying the Mavic 2 Pro, flew around a bit, was getting some good footage of the sunset and the road, decided to fly it up over the mountain a bit. It disconnected. I waited a minute for it to come back, and it never did. And now it's somewhere in the wilderness. Return to the wild where it belongs, I guess. Not where it belongs at all. And that's the story of how the Mavic 2 Pro met its demise. Damn it. Sucks to end the video like this because we were doing so well. We were doing so well. The footage was good. And now it's just not. Now there is no footage. Now the footage is on an SD card up there somewhere. So that kind of sucks. But I guess I have to do the obligatory outro, say the ending of the video. So if you enjoyed this one, feel free to share your support, leaving a like, comment, subscribing to my channel. New videos like this just about every week. Got some good stuff planned coming soon. Not drone footage for the time being, but some good stuff. So subscribe for that, and I'll see you in the next one. Dang it!